Changing the content of a label. This tutorial demonstrates how to change text content for an individual label and for a group of labels. Exercise 1. Overriding label text. In this exercise, you will override the text in a single label. Label text overrides are useful for adding text to an individual label to mark a point of interest without modifying all labels that share a style. Override the text of a label. Note: this exercise uses labels 2b.dwg with the modifications you made in the previous exercise, or you can open labels 3a.dwg from the tutorials drawings folder. Zoom and pen to the area between stations 0 plus 000 and 0 plus 100 of the main street alignment. Control plus click the geometry point label PC, 0 plus 035.99. Right-click. Click Edit Label Text. Note: using Control plus click selects only one label in a group. For this exercise, you will override the text of only the PC, 0 plus 035.99 label, and not the other geometry point labels. In the text component editor, label text dialog box, place your cursor at the end of the equation in the preview pane. Press Enter. Enter N in the preview pane. In the properties list, select Northing. Click to move the Northing formula, then place your cursor at the end of the equation and press Enter. Enter E in the preview pane. In the properties list, select Easting. Click to move the Easting formula. The formula in the preview pane should look like this: N E. Click OK. Notice that the label updates to show the northing and easting values at the point of curvature. The other labels at the points of curvature and tangent C have maintained their original style settings. To apply this change to the entire group of geometry point labels, you would modify the style that is used by the entire group. Geometry point label PC, 0 plus 035.99 with overwritten text. To return the label to its original style settings, Control plus click the label. Right-click. Click Clear Label Text Override. Exercise 2, Changing Label Content in the Drawing Settings. In this exercise, you will change the default abbreviations that appear in geometry point labels. This exercise continues from exercise 1, overriding label text. Change label content in the drawing settings. Note: this exercise uses labels 3a.dwg with the modifications you made in the previous exercise. Zoom and pen to the area between stations 0 plus 000 and 0 plus 080 of the West Street alignment. In Tool Space, on the Settings tab, right-click the drawing name. Click Edit Drawing Settings. In the Drawing Settings dialog box, click the Abbreviations tab. Note: in the Drawing Settings dialog box, you can use the Object Layers tab to change the default layer on which Autodesk Civil 3D objects and their labels are created. The Alignment Geometry Point text category lists the abbreviations currently in use for each type of geometry point. In the Value column, change the geometry point abbreviation values to the following: Alignment End, End. Tangent Curve Intersect, Tan Cur. Curve Tangent Intersect, Cur Tan. Click OK. The geometry point labels update to reflect the change in the drawing settings. Note: if the abbreviations in the geometry geometry point labels have not updated to reflect the changes you made, enter regen on the command line. Geometry point labels with abbreviations modified in drawing settings. Close the drawing.